What's up, tech junkies? My name is JD and welcome to the channel. Alright, today is going to be a little bit different than the usual video. So today we're going to go over how are we going to organize and make a setup based on, reorganization and redesigning what you have. There's really not a lot of guidelines to go by, but what you want to do is at least make things look symmetrical and also make them look neat and organized, and that is a tough problem. So this is my setup right now. Sorry it looks a little messy because I'm in the middle of doing a whole entire renovation by installing this speaker system and also getting that monitor over there back. Sorry for terrible focus. Okay, well, forget that. Okay, so anyways, so we're going to get that second monitor over there onto this desk. So we have to figure out a way, right, to get these speakers all set up. And there's the other two right there. So we got the two satellites, the head unit, and also the subwoofer right there. We got to find a way to install them to the setup, make them organized and symmetrical, and at the same time make enough room for that monitor to come over here. So there's quite a bit you have to do. So this video can be really helpful for people that are looking to redesign their setup or also looking for ideas on how to organize everything. The first step in the process is, what are we going to move and get rid of? Okay, so of course we got this speaker over here that I'm using currently, but now that we're going to be using this, I can get rid of that and I can slide this over. And thus that'll make more room for that monitor to put over here. Now I'm probably going to have to move the headphones, obviously, but I'm going to try to keep the mic here. If it doesn't work, I'll try to figure that out later on. I don't know if I'm exactly keeping this TV here now that I have the second monitor, and looking back and forth between the TV is really difficult because it's just kind of annoying because you have to turn your head all the way over here. So yeah, that has to be settled. And I also have this lower shelf over here that has like my display case of all the parts on my PC, my mom's PC that I built. So that can also be utilized as well. So there's a little bit of room to work here with. So I'm going to put the video on fast forward of me going through the process and organizing everything. And then I'm going to go through and tell you guys what was my process to get this all organized and neat. Because simplicity is key. So let's do that. First things first, I'm going to have to get these panels undone. So this is step one of my process. So right here I'm taking off the panels that hide the wires behind my PC. And the wires are still organized behind, of course. But the panels are a really nice system when you just want to access the cables really easily, but also hide them at the same time. And now here I am disconnecting my speaker and finally just getting it all undone. Got the aux cord out and also the power cord. And now we're going to have to get that speaker out. So I finally get rid of the Bluetooth speaker that I've been using since February of 2016. Move the headphones and everything else over there. And then finally make room for the second monitor. But putting the second monitor down was a little bit harder than I thought. Alright, so I think the monitor situation is going to take me some time to figure out. So I'm going to cut it here and cut it to when I have it figured out and give my explanation why I did that. So yeah, we'll be back in just a moment. Finally decided on a viewing angle of the second monitor in such a way that it maximizes the surface area on that portion of the desk. That was a little bit hard to figure out because the base interferes with the actual mouse pad, so I had to figure out a way that it didn't do that and it didn't feel weird typing all the way to the left side of the desk. And now I can maximize the surface area by moving the mic up closer to the front of the desk by the front post. This way it can be swiveled around the desk and also around the monitor, so it works out nicely and can also be hidden behind it. So obviously I'm gonna have to get a base mount down the road, but for right now this will definitely do the job. We're gonna be placing the speakers down and we're gonna see where that goes. So back to the fast forwarding. I also wanted to mention that this setup isn't going to be complete by the end of this video. There's going to be part 2 where I do the cable management and show you guys creative ways on how to manage your cables. So this way you can get 2 things out of this and also a complete renovation of my setup. So yeah. So I start by getting the subwoofer out of the way by putting it on the left hand side of the floor. So now with the second monitor in place, I wanted to get rid of the TV because now I don't need the TV, and now I can make more room for the satellite speaker and put the head unit somewhere else. So I finally get everything out of the way to get the TV out of the way, get it unhooked, and also out of the setup. So now I remove it and now it's gone, and now I have free space. Finally, it feels really nice to have that huge atrocity off the desk. And I also wipe it down because it's really dusty. It's really hard to reach back there and dust it all the time. And then I decide that I want the head unit up on the middle of the top shelf between the satellite speakers. And I go through a dilemma here because I'm like, well, do I want it to complete the setup on top, or do I want it down below to increase surface area? So I finally came to the conclusion that I'm going to put the head unit down on the lower shelf and maximize the space on the top shelf. This way it could still look a little bit more cohesive and also give me the most amount of room possible and not make it look cluttered. So this was a bit more of a difficult decision to make with the head unit. So I'm like, okay, where am I going to put this head unit so that it's like symmetrical with the satellite speakers but also maximizes the surface area? Where is it going to look best? So I think, oh, maybe in the corner, but it takes up a little much space. Then over on the side, but hey, right in the middle, let's do that. So I do that, and I'm like, I can rearrange the boxes and make that look nice and make the theme down below all part of the display case. And of course, my cat Jack on the office chair is helping me make all these decisions. He's a great companion. So I actually ran into a bit of a problem here. The auxiliary port on the back is a 2-to-1 aux cord. So the one I have is the only one I could find, and it's way too short to run it from the computer to the back of the head unit. Now there's a direct 1-to-1 auxiliary port on the front of the head unit, but that wouldn't look good because then the wires would be sticking out the front. So I had to go buy one off of Amazon. Now I could move the head unit over, but that would just be kind of messing up the look, and I don't promote the idea that you always have to spend money to make it look better, but sometimes you have to. And for me personally, I don't see that as too much of an expense because it's pretty cheap on Amazon. So I have to wait for the cable to come in, but overall the layout is pretty much finished. So it is now like 2 a.m. and everything is a mess, and yeah, this is going great. So I'm going to have to wait for the cord to come in by Thursday, but that's okay because by then I'll be doing the cable management video, and that'll be part 2 of this makeover edition, and we'll finally finalize this entire renovation of my setup. So overall, that's my basic process of how I got all of this done, and the processes kind of follow like a domino effect. First I moved the speaker, then I moved the other monitor over, and then I put the second monitor up. Then I was able to make room to get rid of the second TV and then put the speakers down. So at the heart of this process, it really goes by what you know first, followed by what you know the least about. So I had no plans with the speaker system itself. I knew that I had to get rid of the old speaker, which was the Bluetooth speaker, and add the second monitor so I can get rid of the TV, and thus that created space to allow me to set up the new sound system. And there I decided where I wanted to put that and rearrange everything around that. So it kind of follows one by one by one. Also, speakers can be tricky sometimes because they have to be placed in a certain way that has to sound the best. So I was able to make enough room so that I was able to get the speakers all to angle towards the middle and sound the best. Hopefully this helps you guys. Sorry this is going to be a long video. Hopefully it's not too terribly long. But I hope you guys found the video entertaining, found it helpful. Sorry if I ramble on too much, but there's just a lot that goes into the thinking process here. Being creative with design and layouts, just it takes a lot of different routes into which kind of look you're achieving. So it takes some rambling to achieve the desired explanation of that. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and if you want to see more content like this, then consider subscribing and also like the video. It really helps me out if you really like the video. And thank you guys. I'll catch you next time. Oh yeah, focused on the thumb. All right.